Hey, what's happening, fellas? Hertz here, back with a little bit more of my Battlefield 4 action, getting it up here on the channel, multiplayer content. This time we're playing some team deathmatch on Flood Zone. I love this map. I love it. Actually, I really enjoy all of the maps for the most part that are in this game. This one in particular, there's just something about it that speaks to me. I really do enjoy the rooftop battles. It's one of those maps that is really well designed. It's really intricate in its design. It's really complicated, but it's not that complicated once you spend a little bit of time here, you know. However, in the design process, I'm sure it was, you know, trying to balance things out nicely, and create all these various I don't know, these various pathways that span, you know, 3 stories for the most part on these rooftops, and then create this beautiful chaotic area up top, you know, where there's just a lot of action taking place, you know, playing out. Now, right here, I did know that there was ramp access back here. I was hoping to kind of walk in behind. Hopefully, I was hoping for a few more guys. I was hoping for about a squad that I could get the jump on. One will do to start things off, though. Looking at the gun here, this is the AEK 971. Now, I'm going to give full number rundowns, or a full numbers rundown for this weapon. Damage, accuracy, hipfire, range, and stability. What it started at, what it ended at with the attachments that I currently have assembled, you know, the modifications that I currently have made to this weapon at the end of the round, you know, and I'll give you my thoughts on this loadout. Now, this area that I'm in, really advantageous position on this map. I really enjoy being up here. You saw how I got up here. I climbed that little ramp, which in itself is basically a stairwell, the entrance to a stairwell that leads down into the bowels of the building. There's also another entrance up here. I think I'm heading there right now. Yeah, there's a doorway back here that leads us out to this back stretch of the buildings, the shadowed area, where guys, we'll see a lot of traffic pop up here, especially when teams start to get, you know, pinned down. If the opposition is pinned down, this is a likely location they will try to weave their way through this backstretch. We can see great line of sight down here, leading right into the entrance to a stairwell, and I'm doing quite a bit of damage up here. I'm enjoying my run, my time spent up here, and I'm having, you know, I'm making it work for me, you know. A little bit skilled, a little bit of it was luck, especially here shortly. There'll be a guy, you will see a guy kind of walk right out this door as I get up here. He just didn't quite see me, you know. I avoided his peripheral vision just enough and managed to stick him with the blade. And getting some some mid-range fire with the pistola, and that is because this AEK 971 that I'm wielding, not great for long ranges, you know. It's really not set up well for range with the suppressor on there. Now, right here, this is a bit my downfall. I kind of targeted the wrong guy. Probably should have continued to chase the man that first caught my eye, rather than trying to square off with somebody at that range with my pistola who was wielding, you know, I don't know what he had there. Assault rifle, maybe? Not really sure, but he did put me down pretty quickly. Now, let's take a quick look at the gear on this weapon. It is the hollow sight. It's got 1 times magnification. It's the PKAS. It's a Russian sight, hollow sight. The suppressor is on there. Now, it's killing, you know, the suppressor, despite giving you that bonus of silence, you know, keeping you off of radar here, as the big bad wolf came in, huffed and puffed and blew my house down. You know, goddamn, leaving me exposed out there and causing my death. At least I pulled 1 kill out, you know, across the way. Really wasn't firing the weapon at a good range, because the suppressor, despite, like I've been trying to get to, despite it giving you that benefit of silence and stealth on the radar on the mini-map, it's killing both hipfire effectiveness and effective range. You know, in fact, this will be the one number that I mentioned right now before getting to it at the end. The range on this weapon started at 28 with no attachments, ended at 14. That suppressor cutting my range in half, just decimating it, you know. So you have to use this gun as it's set up to its strength, which is in these close quarter situations, which this map provides plenty of, you know. Often you'll find yourself rounding corners and in those situations where guys are right up in your face, you know. I also threw the laser sight on there for a big boost to hip fire, so that balanced out the hit I took from the suppressor, with at least in regards to hip fire accuracy and effectiveness. Angled grip is on there. Anytime you see my left hand come off of the barrel of the weapon, you'll see my angled grip in there. It increases stability by reducing the first shot recoil by 33%, so a small bonus to actual final stability numbers, but like I said, I'll get to that in time. The Crimson Woodland is the paint job on there, and of course you see my pistola coming out one more time, and I'm having a pretty solid run here. Now, did I mention this is going to be a loss? The very first battle Battlefield 4 multiplayer loss, I'm going to get up here on the channel. I don't have an issue with that, though. I don't have a big problem with bringing up losses. It's not all about posting wins. It's about posting entertaining videos, entertaining rounds where, at least from my perspective, things were exciting. There was a good performance, things worth noting, and something that I could commentate on, and hopefully you guys would enjoy. So, listen to this fire ringing off as I'm rambling on here. Listen to this fire, and it's just begun. Now that I poke my head out this hole here, I've got that much more fire coming in, and it really says a lot about the guy that's shooting at me. Since I don't think he's even nicked me yet, but it's playing. It's like the psychological warfare. I kept hearing that snap and that pop of those rounds all around me. Finally, I'm just like, screw it. I'm getting off of that rooftop. I'm going to circle in behind this sucker and try and put him down, which is what the team should have been doing. After starting off wonderfully, holding a small lead for about the first 75 kills, we're now sporting a 15-kill deficit, which is ever growing. Now we're at closer to 20, so it's not great. I think the team was trying to hold their ground in a few of those poor locations a little bit too long, and it was costing too many lives, too many guys were falling too often, too quickly, just by holding their ground in a kind of a poor location, when the opposition had the better of us, right? Now, I had jumped down here. I heard some guy. I could see the bodies piling up down there. At least I dealt with the man. I was hoping that my teammates were going to hold on to life just a little bit longer so I could get the heals in, the revives, but it just didn't work out that way, unfortunately. And you know what? That's a bit of a mistake on their part. Guys should be when we're sporting a 20-kill deficit, guys should be holding on to life a few seconds longer just to see if a medic would wander through the area. Hurts medics will come in and heal your ass if it's available to them, Anyway, right here, now, this is pretty funny. I mean, I don't know. Goddamn. This is one of those situations, and I mention it often enough here on the channel, where you live and you learn, and you die, and you learn a little bit more, So I died there, jumping over that railing, and I won't be making that same mistake twice. I thought for sure it was like a little 10-foot drop, 8-foot drop, or some jazz like that. I'd be hitting solid ground again very shortly. No, it didn't quite work out that way, and it caught me so off guard, I couldn't even, I didn't even think about going for my shoot. I just ended up eating that ledge 2 stories down or whatever the hell it was. Anyway, again, you look at the team. I mean, we're piled up here strong and taking sniper fire, and there's suppressive fire coming in from across the way, and guys are just trying to hold their ground maybe a little bit too long here. They should have exited to the backstretch. Even me, I mean, I'm not using it right now at its effective range, unfortunately, so there's limited damage that I can do across the way like that. I'm really only there for support to try and heal guys up, maybe drop a health pack, maybe get a revive in before I'm kind of just forced to scurry out of the area and try and find a better line to come in and flank the guys that are shooting at us, Now right up here, I get the health pack down. I noticed my teammate was taking a little bit of damage. I come around, deal with the guy in the room that was giving him a hard time, and get my reload in, regroup, and hopefully let my teammate back there heal up, Now coming back out here, I'm pretty sure I walk right into some fire. We start... No, not yet. We do start taking a bit of fire, however. Finally, yeah, here it is. I felt it was time to kind of cross the street, get over on this other side of the buildings, hopefully get in behind, or at least flank these guys that were putting all that fire our way before I kind of scurried down that backstretch initially. The enemy that were doing all that damage to the team, And now they're starting to spawn over here now, so I'm forced to deal with this. You can see I'm spotting them up as they're coming into view, and there's some heavy explosives coming in as well. I feel a little exposed out here, but once I settled in behind this ramp, and I recommend doing this to kind of use it as a shield, cut off the enemy's line of sight, use it for some cover, you can hold this area pretty nicely. I would have stayed here a little bit longer had I not felt kind of beyond my weapon's effective range again, The range being only 14 of a possible 100 on this weapon as it stands. I felt like I needed to get a little bit closer. And it's not just that it was the numbers. The weapon, when you're firing it with that suppressor on there, it feels like it's lacking the punch required to even cross those mid ranges and use it effectively. Although it will put guys down pretty nicely at mid range, so long as you're firing it right and keeping your fire under control. I mean, it just feels like it's it's weak. It's weak, you know. But anyway, coming down the final stretch, I mean, I'm making an effort to try and keep the numbers intact, but you can see they just really did walk away with it. 34 kill deficit when it was all said and done, but a pretty entertaining round. I felt like I had a good performance. I wanted to get it up here. I wanted to showcase Flood Zone because I love that map. You know, there's just something about running through those rooftops that are a lot of fun. And like I said, chaotic. It's chaotic up there. Intense gameplay. So what did I finish with? I think a 20-5. Yeah, there it is. 20-5, 4-1 KDR. Could have been a 5-1 KDR had I not jumped off to my death that one time and brought in the suicide. But you know what? I'm a big performer in the room, you know. It just it goes to show you, Battlefield. I mean, personal heroics are and good performance. You should certainly be striving for a good performance. But if the team isn't picking up the slack, you're gonna lose. You know, and team deathmatch is really the weakest side of that concept. You know, when you get into game modes like Rush, where you know, a chance of victory certainly hinges on solid teamwork, cohesive teamwork. You know, a cohesive team, and it shows right there. You know, despite a great performance, the team just didn't pull it together. We were getting dominated for a little bit too long at certain locations around the map. You know. Anyway, let's do that numbered rundown that I want to do for this weapon. The AEK 971, as I said, it's got that hollow sight on there, 1x magnifier, laser sight, suppressor, angled grip, and the starting numbers and final numbers, I'll run them down right now for the weapon. The damage rating started at 30, ended at 30, so no change there. Same with accuracy, started at 50, ended at 50. The hipfire, however, got a slight bonus to hipfire. You know, I went from 50 to 62, and that's bringing in, I mean, there was a bonus coming in from using the laser sight, but I was taking a small hit from having that suppressor on there, at least in regards to hipfire accuracy, right? Now, going down one more, this is the one that really took the hit. Range, going from 28 to 14, getting cut in half by that suppressor. And the stability, taking a small boost from that angled grip that I had on the weapon, going from 30 to 35. So, guys, for you guys that are actually not only watching my videos, but playing the game yourselves, and if you're looking for a kit to use, you know, well, I would use this one with caution. Certainly don't go out there trying to use this gun at long ranges. It's just not going to be effective the way it's currently set up. But the gun itself, I mean, I've had it, rolled it without the suppressor as well. Really packs a good punch, you know, when the suppressor isn't on there. So I'll try and get some of that up here in time as well. Some footage or a round or two with the AEK 971 without the suppressor on there, and we'll kind of we'll discuss the differences, or I'll discuss the differences in my comp. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you will leave a like and a comment and say what's up, or let me know what you think. And well, hopefully you'll also subscribe to the channel if you're new around here and you haven't already. But until next time, guys, until next time you see me out there on the battlefield, well, remember why it hurts. Later.